Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about something so insanely fun, it's gonna make your head explode. Budgeting. Budgeting, I think, is an integral step into being financially independent and living a financially low-stress life. Half of saving money and making money is all up here. I mean, a significant part of it is just having access to good paying jobs, but another half of it, I swear, it's all about like psychology. And so one of the things that really helps me is having all of my costs written out and a plan on how I should be spending them. And I think that budgets go updated at least every 2 to 3 months, because I swear you can have the best like mindset and still see that sometimes you just overspend. Like, I'm a very careful spender, but I haven't looked at my budget, my written budget, in months. Maybe like June was the last time I looked at my budget, and surprise, surprise, last month, November, which for me was even no spend November, I ended up going over in some parts that were definitely avoidable. So in this video, I wanted to take a look at last month's budget and also just talk about some like guiding principles of good budgeting. If you're new to my channel, my name is Tia, and you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter as well. I am making a lot of videos about personal finance right now, and I think that's kind of it. Okay, so let's look at my budget. As you guys can see, there is some red in there, which, what can you do? No, I know what you can do. You can stop spending so much money. So basically, the way that my budget is set up is I have a foolproof budget that budgets only my salary. When I budget, I have already in my mind that despite the fact that I've created multiple streams of revenue, and some of those revenue streams are actually pretty significant, but to me, what I think of mentally up here is that all of that revenue is savings. That's separate. That revenue minus taxes and what I pay to the people that helped me with my channel, all of that money is taxes. The only money that I can actually spend for me, my expenses, and my fun is the money from my salary. And I mean, I already helped myself out a bit, because if you guys watched my past videos in terms of like what I do and how I went about finding a job in Italy, I can say that at 23 years old, I make a pretty decent salary. I was able to negotiate that. And so that's a pretty good start. If you're able to negotiate and strategize your way into a decent paying job, that's a great start. And you'll see from here that even if I'm just using my salary, my monthly salary, I am able to save and invest a decent amount of money and also budget for fun and discretionary things. This is useful because even when I technically go over this budget, my expenses are never exceeding my income. Already mentally foolproofed my budget. So let's go into my monthly transactions. I had about, on my debit card, credit card, and PayPal, 36 transactions this month, but I'm sure I missed some. Actually, let's look at my categories. So for my categories, I have transportation, entertainment, food, home, internet, personal items, travel, utilities, phone, investing, savings, discretionary, subscription, and company expenses. So just a quick overview of what those are. Transportation is just my monthly student pass, my monthly transportation pass with the city of Milan. I pay 200 euros a year, which I actually have to pay this month. Dang, it's already been a year, which works out to roughly $1667 a month. Technically this month I didn't spend it because I spent 200 in December. Entertainment. Now, entertainment for me is mostly eating out with friends. Why? Because unfortunately or fortunately, for my job, which is very heavily based on relationships, and also I feel for the Italian culture because I live in Italy, you can't really get away with being antisocial and never going out with your friends. You have to go out with your friends sometimes, and you end up spending money. So I give myself 200 euros a month for dinners, lunches, whatever it may be with my friends. That's what it is. So that could be like 2 or 3 really expensive dinners. That can be some mid-level lunches. That accounts for endless coffees. I like to budget that in so I don't feel bad about eating out or even ordering. Then food, like groceries, our actual groceries, I've talked about this lots of times, tends to be between 20 and 25 euros. This month, I don't know why, I was 7 euros and 50 cents over, pero vabbè. Then we have home, which is our rent. Internet, which is 20.15 each. We have the fiber optic super fast Wi-Fi here in Milan, and we pay about 20 euros each a month. Personal items are things like if I have to buy lotion or soap or something like that. And as you guys can see, this month I went way over. We're gonna look into why, because I'm like, Travel is pretty self-explanatory. I give myself a travel budget of 200 euros a month, but I don't travel every month. So what usually ends up happening is I might travel every 3 months, and so I'll have 600 euros to spend on a trip. And in fact, I just bought some plane tickets that were about 500 euros, I believe. And that's from the fact that in the last 3 months, I didn't travel anywhere. Utilities are going to be 40 euros a month, more or less. This month it was 65. Not really sure why. Phone bill is 15 euros a month. Investing, I try to put aside 250 euros a month for investing. Savings, again, I try to put 250 euros a month for savings. Discretionary is stuff that doesn't fall into any of these categories. That's literally if I want to buy a sweatshirt or something like that, random. I put 200 euro budget. My subscriptions are Netflix, Audible, and iCloud, and I spend 18 euros and 53 cents on those. And then company expenses aren't really my expenses, but I like to keep track of them. And those are things that I pay for the company I work for, but then I get reimbursed. So if you want to take a deeper look at all of these expenses, we can see that, oh my God. So I spent 57 euros this month with Enrico on groceries. So it was like 114, I guess. I don't really know why. There were definitely a couple of times that we spent more than we had to. So there you have it. It wasn't exactly 100 euros this month. It was 114. My nails, which I get done every month, usually it's 35 euros, but this month it was 40 because I got these done that are different. Whatever, it was 40 when it should have been 35 usually. And we have Starbucks, Panini Giusto. Those were all things where like getting coffees with my friends or getting coffees with associates. Personal items, I had to buy lotion and body wash this month, which end up looking like a lot, but it's because I buy like medical grade and a lot, like big tubes of medical grade lotion and body wash from the pharmacy, and that's why that's so expensive. I can't really get around it. Pharmacy items in Italy are expensive, but for my skin, I have really sensitive skin, and it's just something that I have to budget for. I actually don't remember what this Antico Tabacchi is. I think it was a coffee. Then we have KFC Bologna. I remember that. It was when I was having lunch in Bologna and I just had to have KFC. Taxi Bologna, which was a company expense. I was working from Bologna that day. I had a salad from Carrefour for lunch once. Starbucks, I'm sure that was a coffee with a friend or a coffee before getting on the train to go to Rome or Bologna. Hotel and bar, 18 euros. Honestly, I don't remember what that was. And you see, this is why I need to get back on top of my budget, because I don't like the fact that there are some expenses that I literally cannot even account for. I'm gonna assume that was a lunch somewhere. Home rent is 400. Discretionary AB & Co. SRL. I looked that up and it was a restaurant, so another lunch. Dinner at Mama Africa with my friend. Starbucks. Business lunch. This was actually when I had invited Alessandro to Milan to film my video, and he did it for free, and so I felt it was only fair for me to offer him lunch, and so I did. Paradiso SRL. I can't remember what that was, but it was 9 euros. H&M and Zara. This is what messed me up for my no spend November. I bought a bunch of sweaters, and altogether it ended up being almost 300 euros on sweaters. And so those are what really pushed me over the edge for personal items and discretionary. You'll notice that I have one is discretionary and one is personal items, and honestly, there's no reason for that. It was just so that I wasn't extremely overread in one. I was trying to spread the cost around different categories, but there you have it. Starbucks, bathroom in Roma Termini. The fact that we have to pay for those disgusting bathrooms Vabbè. California Bakery, so that was a lunch with a friend, Starbucks, the Lufthansa plane ticket. I ended up just putting it as 200 euros because, like I said, I hadn't gone traveling in September or October, so I could amortize that plane ticket into the past and say that 500 euros that I spent this month, we can put 250 in October and the rest in September. My Audible subscription, my Netflix subscription, my iCloud subscription. We had to buy ink for our printer this month. The savings, Tim, the internet, utilities, which were 65 euros. I really don't know why, because it was even July and August. I have no idea why it was that much. And my phone bill. And those were the main transactions of the month. You'll notice that I didn't do any investing or put any investing in November, but that's that. And so if I look at it all, despite the fact that I went so over, I was still able to spend 64 euros less than my budget. So actually I could put that into some stocks. In the end, you'll see that my budget versus actual, I don't usually spend more than my budget. It was just the discretionary this month, but it's not like I buy clothes every month. I actually buy clothes quite rarely these days. My biggest expense is my rent. And then close after we have savings and investing, which is good. And then after that, we have discretionary and entertainment. So that's where I just put, we'll say that entertainment is when I'm entertaining either myself or my friends, because I have to upkeep a lot of relationships and I budget for that. And then discretionary is stuff that, you probably shouldn't buy. That's that useless stuff. Those are again, sweaters. But that was my budget for this month. And what does this show me? Well, it shows me that I definitely want to take a look at how much I'm going out for lunches and dinners and coffees, because there were just a lot of them. And also maybe instead of taking my friends out to lunches and dinners, maybe I can hit them up with some coffees. I could definitely save some there. Next month, I do not need to buy any sweaters, so I hope personal items will be dropped. Also, the lotion and the soap tend to last me for about 3 months, so that's fine. That's another price that could be amortized and would end up costing less. If we look at it as a monthly cost, 50 euros divided by 3, it's obviously not 50 euros. And yeah, that seems to be kind of it. But this is my budget and how I see everything. And I tell you, it's really all mental. So long as the big number on my bank account stays the same, I'm really gonna think that my spending is all right. But actually, if I look at it in detail like this, if I look at my transactions and my monthly budget and how much I'm spending where, I can really see pretty well where I can cut down, where I can have some flexibility. And like I said, since I made this budget with the guiding principle of, okay, I have multiple revenue streams, but I'm only going to spend monthly from one, I was able to split that up into a lot of ways and still have money to invest and still have money to save and just have some good financial wiggle room. So that's my budget and how much I spent during No Spend November, and also my tips and some things to keep in mind for when you guys are making your own budgets. I hope that you guys found this video interesting and useful. Leave your own budgeting tips in the comment section down below. We'd love to hear about them. Help us out. What do you guys do to help you budget better and save money and spend more responsibly? I think that's going to be it for this video. Hit the notification bell and like and subscribe if you haven't already. As always, I will see you guys in my next one. Mwah.